friendship that'll never ever end.
Will Bo Dallas join Bray Wyatt in the Firefly Funhouse? This is genuinely that question I get asked every single day now. And I'm fine with it because I think it's really creative and a creative way to look at it. But I wanted to make this video so we can look at all the reasons why Bo Dallas could join the Funhouse, because there is quite a few. And then you guys can have your say on your thoughts, and if you should, in the comment section down below. Now, we know the Fiend exists in WWE to right the wrongs from Bray Wyatt's past. It's what we've seen the Fiend do through recent months. So what wrong could Brother Bo have given Bray Wyatt? Well,
to the family. Recruit Bo Dallas. He said,
he turned down being part of Bray Wyatt's Wyatt family. That was over 6 years ago in NXT. It led to Bo getting a massive beatdown from Bray Wyatt. And I think the expectation has always been, because of the name Wyatt Family, people always have expected that Bo would one day join the family. We all know that he and Bray are brothers. Therefore, it would make sense in the Wyatt family to actually have your genetic, real-life brother alongside you. It has obviously never, ever happened. Yet. But if you are new to the channel, I need to ask you right now to hit that subscribe button, turn on post notifications, and don't forget to hit like on the video. It really does help the video rank up on YouTube. Now, at Money in the Bank, this was the very first time that we actually saw Bray actively trying to recruit somebody in the form of Braun Strowman, the black sheep from the Wyatt family. And a lot of people still deny this was actually the reason and what he was doing, but it is what we saw. The puppets were excited that Bray had done it, that Bray had accomplished this mission to recruit Braun. When Braun emerged with the black sheep mask on, the puppets were happy. Bray was happy. He literally welcomed him with open arms. The two men actually had a hug before Braun Strowman actually then turned on Bray Wyatt and double-crossed him with the running power slam to then retain the Universal Championship. But that is, I think, for me, a very telling thing, that this was the very first time that we've seen Bray actively on WWE looking like he wants people to join him in the Firefly Funhouse. Before this, there's been no clues that that's something Bray has actually wanted. It's just been something that fans have sort of theorized and talked about. So maybe that is what Bo Dallas could do. Maybe Bo could then therefore join Bray Wyatt, because it would kind of be like a punishment for Bo, the man who turned down joining the Wyatt family, to all these years later be underneath Bray Wyatt exactly like Bray wanted. Now, of course, it wouldn't be a theory video without the cryptic tweets, and Bo Dallas has sent quite a few back in March, tweeting out, "I remember you, hashtag the original NXT champion, hashtag the future was always now." Obviously looking back at his past self and his past success. Of course, another great, very famous one now is, "I'm on a life-changing expedition right now, and the next time you see me, it will be a Bo you've never seen." Of course, that was posted back in December, which does make you think that maybe Bo's doing something. We all know that Bray Wyatt went away, and when he went away from WWE, when he re-emerged, he had this whole Firefly Funhouse, all the puppets and all the props and everything going on with the Fiend, and it took a while. But now we know that all of this is visual representations of Bray Wyatt's past. Well, that's what Bo Dallas is tweeting about. Bo Dallas is tweeting about the time when he was a success in NXT, when he was the future. Now, you know, in most fans' eyes, Bo is just a jobber. Maybe this is what Bo is going to then come back with, a visual representation of his past. It would make sense because Bo's had some success. As you just saw, he held the NXT championship. He did have a really over gimmick in NXT. The whole Bo leave thing was actually over and people loved Bo. He had a little run on the main roster where people thought he was the future of WWE, again, it just never seemed to happen. For some reason, WWE never run with Bo Dallas. The last thing we saw Bo do on WWE TV was the B Team. And of course, somehow him and Curtis Axel made this gimmick tag team work. They won the tag team championships. They did sort of get over with the fans. Again, WWE didn't run with them, and it didn't happen. And now we found out that the February 28, 2020 episode of SmackDown, Curtis Axel was defeated by Daniel Bryan, and that was his final appearance in WWE, because on April 30th, on what we call WWE's Darkest Day, of course, Curtis Axel was released from his WWE contract, and of course, with Curtis Axel going, the B Team is no more. And I think it's a real shame that Axel got fired. I've always been a fan of Axel. I've always thought, third generation superstar, former Intercontinental Champion, former Paul Heyman guy. He's a typical example of someone that WWE should have got behind, really pushed to the moon, and they just never did. And I think it's very telling that even though he's not really used regularly on TV, Bo Dallas was not involved in WWE's Darkest Day when they released all those superstars and producers and backstage workers and stuff. So hopefully for Bo, that's a very good sign that there is a plan for him in the future. I have seen the theory that they didn't release Bo because he's Bray's brother, but they did release Bray's dad. IRS Mike Rotunda was on the list posted by WWE. He was working backstage as a producer, and it's sketchy. People aren't sure if he was fired or furloughed, but I think it blows that theory out of the water. Now, I'm not saying that Bo should be the Fiend or Bo should play a role like that in the Funhouse, but I do think it's telling that we've had the creator of the Fiend mask say we haven't seen anything yet, and that there were other masks maybe to come. Maybe one of them is for Bo Dallas. Of course, we have seen this image posted by Bray Wyatt on Twitter. I still am not sure if this is an actual mask or not. Of course, they used the hashtag Cult of Wyndham. The fact it's Cult of Wyndham, for me, symbolizes that it could be something outside of WWE, because obviously it would be Cult of Bray in WWE. Cult of Wyndham is Bray Wyatt's real name. Therefore, you got to think that maybe that would be something that WWE wouldn't want to air on TV. Although, we see it with Live right now, WWE are getting very, very real. Now, we did a theory video on the channel a while ago called The Story of Abigail, where we look through the history of what we know of Sister Abigail, and we sort of theorized and fan-booked sort of maybe Sister Abigail coming in and sort of Bo Dallas working with Abigail to take down the Fiend, and how Abigail may be a rival to the Fiend. And I like this. I like the idea of this because we know that Abigail took in Bray and his brothers and sisters to the cabin in the woods where she looked after them. So I think it's a very plausible theory that could be a way for Bo Dallas to progress. Sort of be like the yin to Bray's yang, if that makes sense. Maybe even have him play Abigail. And if you watch that theory video, you know that we actually named Bo as Abigail, Abogale. And I still think that needs to happen. I really, really do. In summary, I think that Bray Wyatt is a creative genius, and I think he has left clues for the Fiend and the Funhouse throughout his entire career in WWE, and now we are seeing it actually play out on TV. And I think because he's had all of that time to think and all that time to basically make this story, there will be an end to the story that Bray Wyatt wants to tell. Whether that is people joining him or not, I have no idea, but I wouldn't be adverse to Bo Dallas actually joining Bray. I think it could work. I think it should work. And I think Bray Wyatt could make it work. As I mentioned, he is a creative genius. Let him, have his set way with Bo. Let him do his thing. And hopefully get Bo to another level on the WWE hierarchy. Now, before making this video, I did put a poll up on Twitter and simply asked you guys, what do you think? Should Bo Dallas join Bray Wyatt in the Firefly Funhouse? Overwhelmingly, 70% of you said yes, 30% said no. Obviously, if you want to vote in future polls like this, because I hopefully plan to include them on videos more often, make sure you follow me on Twitter. The @ is on screen. It's @CWrestlingUK. Now, as I mentioned, I'm okay with it, but I really want to know your thoughts. So go down to the comment section and let me know. Do you think Bo Dallas should join Bray Wyatt in the Firefly Funhouse? Thank you to everyone who joined the video premiere. Premiere Squad, I love you. Of course, like the video, share the video so your friends can find it. Subscribe to the channel if you're new. I'll see you as always next time. Peace!